If you are a 90s kid, you remember sitting down at the lunchroom table, taking off your starter jacket? I had one of those. Did you have a starter jacket?
I did not.
No? And trading snacks from your Ninja Turtles lunchbox. That sounds like my childhood growing up.
That's Chris Stanford all the way. You can relive those days at a new Madison restaurant. The owners of Hot Lunch have a pretty cool take on why they're recreating the 90s and why every tray has a treat. Here's our Brady Mallory.
Okay.
Here's the 411 on this kitchen.
All right, so we take the bread here.
Sandwiched between recipes of family favorites
Some Duke's mayo.
and modern twists.
I finish it with a little bit more of that root beer glaze.
There's always
And every tray
something
comes with
special.
some candy.
If you think it's just dessert, as if, there's a better reason.
I never got the treat in my lunch sack when I was growing up, or like your lunch bag or anything. I just wanted to make sure everyone had like that treat on their tray now.
That's the vibe here at Hot Lunch on East Johnson in Madison. You'll notice it's a time capsule. The purple paint, Adam Sandler, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Turtle Power, and clear plastic phone are all callbacks to the 1990s. And if you're lucky, you can even hear best friends Michael Serve and Roger Bartz, who happen to own the place, quote 1995's Billy Madison.
Carl, good to see you. So we're gonna need a 9-iron, a bucket of ice, and a buffalo, preferably stuffed.
So why focus on the 1990s? A decade Gen Z college kids now think is cool. Both men are 90s kids and want to celebrate their childhoods and bring back what they call a simpler time.
Oh, it's awesome. Definitely reminds me of like nostalgia growing up as a 90s kid.
Then there's the food.
All of those kind of remind you somewhat of something that you could find in a lunchroom if it were much better, obviously.
That's the goal. Serve and Bartz want Hot Lunch to have a better menu and be a better version of the 90s school lunchrooms they grew up in.
We knew the concept was working when one day strangers were trading the candy. Yeah. It's like, oh, all right, it's working.
The cafeteria may not have always been excellent for everyone, so Hot Lunch has one rule.
There's no cool tables here, though. Everyone has to get along. But there's been no issues with that so far. If you're here, you're automatically a cool kid, I think.
You don't need to be a detective like Ace Ventura, and Clarissa doesn't need to explain it all to figure this out about Hot Lunch. Well, sandwiched in between 90s nostalgia and a good meal, there's just something special.
Like we try and have something for everybody. And that was also kind of the point of the thematic choices too, where there's a little bit of levity to it. Nothing is too serious.
Do you remember those gushers?
How could you forget?
Oh my gosh, I can taste it. You can find Hot Lunch's hours, address, and menu under this story on our website. How cool.